Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is going to be my personal top 10 favorite mods so far for Farming Simulator 22 as of when I'm recording this on March 29th of 2022. So again, these are my favorite mods. I'm not out here advocating that these are the best of the best of the best and that they are the best mods period out there. They are the best mods that I think, in my opinion, that are out there. These are all for all platforms, so they are all for all platforms. So sometimes you might see one that you might think, well, I don't really need that on PC. That's kind of up to you. But these, again, these are my favorite ones that are available for all platforms that I personally like to use and I think add quite a bit to the game. So I'm excited to show some of these guys off to you all. I'm not going to go over really any production chains. Technically one of mine today is a production chain, but other than that, really not going to go over a ton of production chains today. I know there's a lot of production chains that add stuff in. Don't make any comments down below that are, oh, well, there's this other mod that's better than that one that's out now. Well, yeah, if it came out after March 29th, then I missed it. So, because obviously it hasn't come out yet. So now, we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into it here and show you guys my top 10 favorite mods for all platforms. All right, for number one, we have the Lizard Subsoiler 6MT9MT. This is by Black Sheep Modding. This is, again, all these are all platforms, so I'll probably say that a bunch of times. But yeah, this 3.97 megabytes to download. This guy right here is basically a subsoiler. If we look inside the store, we can take a look at it in here. It's this guy right here, the 9MT. Oh, that's actually what we own. Sorry, let's go over here. Here we go. There we go. This is the 6MT 9MT, $17,000 starting price. You can do 6 meter working width or a 9 meter working width. You can customize everything on here if you want to change the color to pink and then the design color purple. However you want to do it. The design color is the tines on the bottom. Now, one thing that's really nice about this is if you plow like you would normally, you'd think, okay, well, yeah, the plows are that way, so you'd want to drive this way with the plow. You can do that, and it will require this horsepower to do that well, in general. Now, if you don't have a high horsepower, you can pull it backwards, so pulling the tines this way across the field. It will still plow and create fields and do all of that, but it will not require anywhere near as much horsepower. So you can do this without hardly any horsepower. So it's kind of like a little cheat built into the mod, but you can hook up each side of it and pull it whichever way works best for you. So just something to note with that. But this thing is absolutely fantastic. It's a squared off plow, which again, most of the plows in the game are not squared off at all. So it's going to do the job, basically, if we go into here, when we go under plows, it's going to do the job of one of these guys in here. It's just going to do it a lot better. You can see it's under plows in here as well. So it's just going to be a lot easier for you to use, really. But there you go. And again, it's bigger than even the biggest plow in the game. 6 meters here. This one goes up to 9 meters. So there you go. That's the Lizard Subsoiler 6MT 9MT by Black Sheep Modding. For number two, we have the More Honey Pallet Place options. This is by Mr. Hector. This is 0.15 megabytes to download. And again, all platforms. This gives you a bunch of different options for honey pallets. So in base game, there is a little square you can place down that will hold 4 honey pallets. This one, as you can see right here, well, it has 12 across the top and 12 across the bottom because it stacks them. So there's 24 right here on this one. This is the largest one available. But if we go into the build menu here, we actually just zoom in a little bit here. We go under animals, go under bees, and we go across. So this is the base game one. Then we have another one that's basically the base game one right there. So basically the same as the base game one, just a little bit set up better. Then we have one that's that size, but it'll stack them by 2. This one will do 6 flat, and this one will do basically 6 flat, 6 on top. This one will do 12 flat. This one will do 12 flat and 12 on top, which is what we have right here. Now you can only place 1 per farm, but if you're doing a lot of honey operations, this makes it a lot easier to be able to have kind of a lot more out there. So definitely recommend this. This is the More Honey Pallet Place options by Mr. Hector. For number 3, we have the Klaus and Krona Baler Pack with Lizard R90. These are by Hispano Modding. These are 25.64 megabytes to download. Again, all platforms. These guys are fantastic. So if we take a look at them in the store here, they're going to be under balers, but I'm just going to go find them down here. It's going to be a lot easier and faster. So we have 2 options. They're basically the same. So if we go under like the Krona one here, you can change, there are a couple color options and stuff like that. But basically what this is a square baler. So or a square baler and a windrower. So this front section here, anything you have, so if you have a wide swath of straw or grass, it will get pulled into the center of the baler using the windrowers here, and then it'll pop out some square bales out the back for you. So that's pretty cool as far as all that goes, and you can adjust the bale size between 180 to 240, and that's again for both of these guys. They run at 10 miles an hour, which is pretty sweet. So these guys are awesome if you want to kind of skip a step and not have to worry about windrowing at the same time, if you're doing like grass bales, straw bales, hay bales, stuff like that. So very helpful here. Definitely recommend these. These are the Klaus and Krona Baler Pack with Lizard R90. All right, for number 4, we have the Field Creator Pack by TF 2020 Mods. This is 0.27 megabytes to download. Now, there is a similar mod to this on PC that probably is better than this one, but this one's available for all platforms. As we're taking a look at this, what this does, if you look out here, we can see a cultivator. I use this cultivator to create a field here. So this allows you to use stuff you wouldn't normally use to create a field and be able to actually create a field. So if we go into the store here and we take a look, the Field Creator Pack. If we go through here, it has all sorts of base game equipment through here that it adds into the game. And you can see Field Creator Mod at the very bottom. So if we scroll across, take a look here, there's gonna be two options. So this one right here, you can see a cultivator prepares fields for the next sowing. So you don't want this one if you want to create fields. If you want to create fields, look for the one that says this machine allows create new fields. So there you go. Now it says it's advisable to rent the machine only. You can do that if you want, because basically its focus is to create new fields. So it's advisable just to do that. That way you don't have to worry about it as far as it creating fields when you don't want it to create fields or anything like that. So you can just rent it, create the fields you want, then return it so you can lease it if you want. But yeah, it adds all of the basically the base game cultivators and subsoilers and all sorts of different stuff in, including, I mean, power harrows, everything in to be able to have an option to create fields. So it's a very useful mod and definitely worth checking out, especially if you're on console and you want to create. I mean, look how wide that is compared to using a plow to create that field. So it just makes it a lot quicker to create large fields if you wanted to do that. But there you go. That's the Field Creator Mod by TF2020 Mods. For number 5, this is the Fermenting Silo by Omatana, 1.95 megabytes to download for all platforms. Now, this is my only kind of production chain that I'm going to go over. Basically what this does, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It takes grass, hay, and chaff and converts it into silage. What's kind of unique about this is if we actually go in the menu, go down to our productions here, this will actually take hay as well, which you normally can't place hay into a bunker silo to create silage. So this will actually allow you to create it from hay as well. And you can see it's 1-to-1, so everything's good to go there. And it does do it fairly quickly, so it's actually quite efficient. But yeah, that's by Omatana. This is the only kind of production chain I wanted to mention because I think it's super useful, so you don't have to worry about going through the process of either A, wrapping silage bales, or B, putting silage materials into a bunker silo and then creating silage that way. So very cool. That is the Fermenting Silo by Omatana. All right, for number 6, we have the Lizard Dura 60-foot. This is by Hispano as well. 18 megabytes to download for all platforms. It's the header that's hooked up to this thing. Look how big that header is. Now, it may not have any context for how big that is, but that is 3 meters bigger than the next biggest header in base game. So this is a very large header. So if we go over here to Lizard Dura 60-foot, and actually I'm gonna go up into here to take a look at this guy so we can look at all the headers. If we go across, the biggest header in base game is gonna be the HD50F John Deere here. It's 15.2 meters. This one is 18.2, 3 meters bigger. Again, it does all the same crop types. This one you can hook up to anything as well. There is that header trailer that was available that we kind of take a look at. If we go back here, combinations, it should, oh, it's just gonna show us that. There we go, there's the header trailer for it. So you do have that, and the header trailer actually also will hold 2,000 liters of fuel as part of the mod pack as well. So so up here you can change the, well, not the brand, but you can change what it's going to couple with and all that sort of good stuff. So you don't have to worry about that. You can change all the different color configurations and everything like that. So very cool, very useful mod, I think, especially if you're doing a lot of big fields and stuff like that. The Lizard Dura 60-foot might be something you're interested in. All right, for number 7, we have the Liftable Pallets mod by Yas. This is 47 kilobytes to download for all platforms. This is, currently there's the older version in the Mod Hub, version 1.1, or 1.0 is out right now. 1.1 is coming out soon. I have an early access video to that that kind of shows off the new features of it coming out soon. But basically what it does is it allows all pallets to be liftable by, well, anyone, including people on console. So I can walk up to these pallets. You look down in the bottom right-hand corner there, it says this thing only weighs 100 kilograms, yet it's 1,000 liters of cheese. So I can lift it if I'd like to, and it works for everything. I have cereal here and everything like that. Now, it will only work on pallets that spawn after you install the mod. So if you have pallets in your game and you install the mod, it won't work on those pallets. It'll work on the ones that come in after that. Now, the new version of this also has a fun thing where you're gonna be able to go into the store, and under anything in here, well, first off, it'll work for every single pallet and big bag option in here. So you'll be able to lift anything in any of these categories without needing a forklift anymore. And it adds the option for everything, including all the base game equipment that, or base game pallets and such that didn't have it before. It adds the ability to buy them in bulk. And it also adds every single possible production good in here to be able to buy in bulk. So I can buy anything in bulk stacks of 8. So it's a very useful mod as far as a lot of different things go. So even if you're on PC, this is a really cool mod to have. And I don't have super strength on. I can't lift them because of super strength. I can enable super strength. I have that, so you can see up there, super strength enabled. But if I disable super strength is enabled up there, I can still lift these guys. It does work on console as well. So again, all platforms, very cool mod, very well done. That is the Liftable Pallets by Yas. All right, for number 8, we have the TLX X52 Tipper. That's the trailer out here. This is by 82 Studio, 20.05 megabytes to download for all platforms. Now, what makes this trailer so unique? Well, first off, it holds every single thing in the world, and you can customize it like crazy since it's a mod by TLX, or excuse me, not TLX, it's a mod by 82 Studio. They do all the TLX stuff as well. But you can come into here, we go to TLX X52 Tipper. It's not too expensive to buy. It holds everything. If we go into here, the big thing is, yes, it does hold 83,000 liters right now, but new extension for 108,500 liters, or the unreal capacity for 250,000. Now I know if you're on PC you can just go in the XML and change it, but if you're on console you don't have the freedom to be able to do that. So this allows you to have a trailer that holds 250,000 liters worth of stuff, which is a lot, and then you can always go to a forestry capacity there. And then there's tons of configurations. You can change it to any color you'd like. There's tons of ways to be able to customize it just the way you want. So the TLX X52 Tipper was one of my favorites in FS19, and I'm glad to see it's coming back in FS22. But there you go. Number 9, we have the Silos Multifruit by Omatana, 3.45 megabytes to download for all platforms. These are these 3 silos out here. They're just silos, but there's a couple of fun things about them. One, they are multi-fruit. They're multi-fruit. Multi-fruit silos means that you can put anything in these things. So if I wanted to put stones in these, I could. If I wanted to put hay in these, I could. If I wanted to put anything in these, I could. So pretty much everything except for liquids, really, which actually it might even take liquids. We'll take a look here in a second. But if we go into here and we go under silos in the build menu and we go down to these guys, silo can be filled with different products. It's going to hold all sorts of different stuff. It's only 30,000 to buy, which is huge, and it holds 5 million liters of each crop type. I mean, if we go into the menu here, we should be able to see everything it's going to take. I don't have any other silos, so it won't take like cotton, eggs, or wool, but everything that's got a 0 by it is going to take all that stuff. So solid fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, manure, lime, herbicide, stones. Again, very cool to see that out there just like that. So this is one of the best multi-fruit silos I think that's out there, as far as it's really compact, cheap to buy, and holds a ton of material there. So there you go. That is the Silos Multifruit by Omatana. All right, for number 10, our final mod, it's this bad boy right here. This is the John Deere CS770. This is by Agritono, 20.92 megabytes to download for all platforms. Why is this so important here? Well, it's a cotton harvester, first off, and look how wide that header is. This is the widest header for cotton harvesters available out there right now. If we go over into the store here and look at cotton technology, yes, it's really expensive, but this one is as well. I know this one's kind of the cheap one to go with here, but this one's gonna harvest at 6 meters. This one's also going to do 6 meters. This one's going to bump you up to almost double that at 11.4 meters. Again, 10,000 liter bales is what it's going to do, but that is fantastic. The thing's huge. Huge as far as the width goes. That's awesome. So for a little bit more, you're going to basically cut the time it's going to take you to harvest in half. So essentially having this guy running is like having 2 of these guys running. So that's why it's definitely worth the extra money to do that. But the CS770 is a very wide, very efficient cotton harvester, and that's why it made the top 10. But anyway, guys, that is my top 10 mods right now as far as Farming Simulator is concerned. On March 29th of 2022, those are my top 10 mods that I have in my mind for the things that I think are the best out there for getting you going with the game and adding new stuff to the game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel and turn your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and for watching.